Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Dive Time. I'm Captain Mike. This week, Gerard and I are going to be diving on the Coast Guard cutter, the Dwayne. It's in Key Largo, Florida. It's part of the reef program. When we dove it, it had been down in probably 7 or 8 years, still in pretty pristine condition. We actually had some dive operators in the area that would fly a dive flag on the mast on top of the crow's nest so that when the current was flowing, it looked like the ship was still moving. Anyway, I'm sure over the last 30 years, between the hurricanes and fishing and just natural erosion, there's been some changes to the wreck. We would love to see them. If you've been on the wreck and you've taken still photos or footage, you can send it here to Divetime TV, and that's at divetimetv@outlook.com, divetimetv@outlook.com, and we'll put them up on the air. And as Gerard would say, and you can be on TV too, just like me. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the show. Remember, this is part one of 2 parts. And if you like it, subscribe, tell your friends. This was what it was like diving 30 years ago, guys. I'm sure it's changed. Remember to be certified and remember to always dive with a buddy. Be safe and safe diving.
Views of this cable company, its employees, or advertisers. All program content is the sole responsibility of the sponsor.
Hi, welcome back to Dive Time. I'm Captain Mike Walters.
And I'm Gerard. This week we're going to talk to you and we're going to show you some wreck dive. Very exciting.
Also this week on Dive Time, Jack Brandt's back again with a tech tip on masks. So stay with us. Hi, welcome again back to Dive Time. And this week on Dive Time, we're going to dive the Dwayne. The Dwayne is in Key Largo, Florida. It's one of our premier favorite wrecks, and we hope that you'll enjoy it as much as we do. What do you think, Gerard?
Oh, that's a great dive, actually, Mike. It is wonderful. It's about 120 feet deep, and the ship is, what, 200 and some...
327.
327. I'm sorry, 327 feet long. And I remember one time just diving right by it and missing it because looking the other way, so, you know, who knows what...
It's amazing. It's as big as a city block, and you miss it.
I miss it, yeah, totally.
My favorite dive on a Dwayne was the day that we had all that current. There was a lot of current on the dive, and
that was funny.
You got stuck on the bridge. The current's flowing this direction, and if this were the bridge, the superstructure of the wreck, you got stuck on it like a fly and couldn't move, and we're diving, and he's just hanging there, and we decide to go around the corner a little bit, and next thing you know, Gerard can't move. He's stuck on the wreck, and you kind of see him roll around and peel off the side and just fly back with the current. It was an amazing
I'm so
time.
big, you know, that being a big guy like I am.
Yeah.
But actually, it was a currenty day, I
It was
would say, yeah.
It was a very currenty day.
Yeah, so what's about that Dwayne that we have to know here? Do you know?
Well,
you wanna tell us about it?
the Dwayne was sank in 1987 as part of the Key Largo National Park. It's part of the artificial reef program they have here. It's totally cleaned. In other words, it's a diver-only wreck. So it's one of the type of wrecks that you can go in or out anywhere you want to go. If there's a door open and you can see through one side, you can go right on through it.
Yeah, we do have 2 parts to this dive, actually. We put 2 parts here because it's actually, being such a big ship, we do have to do it in different dives and times because of the depth, as you know, and all the divers out there, I know, we do, it's a pretty serious diving at this point.
Well, why don't we go diving? Let's take a look. How about you guys? Let's go look at this wreck.
All right.
The water's crystal clear here. We talked about current. There's none there.
No, not that day.
You're looking down, you're probably about, what, 60 feet deep here looking down?
Yep.
And the deck here is about 100.
Right. Yeah, that's 100 feet right there. It was a beautiful day, actually. That day, you know, nothing to do
No
with
current,
any current
yeah.
at all. Yeah. You could free dive down and free dive up.
There's days the water flows by that ship so fast that you can't hardly move on it.
Yeah. That was a pretty day, I have to say. Good visibility today, that day too.
What's amazing about this wreck is it's been down since 1987, but it's already become part of the reef. You can see all the coral that's grown on it. It's just attracted so much life. We've been on this wreck numerous times, so many times we can't count them. And you always see something different, whether you're going inside or whether you're just diving on it.
And this is outside of the reef, the sanctuary, isn't it?
It's outside the reef. You saw some spear guns there. It is outside the reef. People are allowed to spear on it. Now, the barracuda on this wreck are much larger. They're the pelagic barracuda, so they look a little intimidating, but they're just like dogs. They're curious.
They just look at you. This one had a hook in his mouth and a line.
You should have grabbed it and yanked the hook out.
He wasn't that friendly. Well, let's enjoy that.
Now, that's looking up at the crow's nest. Crow's nest, that right there is still 60 feet below the water if you're actually in the crow's nest. Now, this ship sits upright. It's 327 feet long, totally intact. It's like Disney World almost. It's a diver's dream. If you love to wreck dive, it's a very, very safe place to learn wreck diving and to enjoy wreck diving.
They also have one that is exactly similar, but on her side and a little bit deeper.
Their sister ship, the Bib, yeah.
We did some diving on that one too. That was excellent.
A no current day. You'll hear us talk about current days and no current days. The Dwayne normally has some current flowing on it. Here you get an idea of just how massive this ship is if you see her next to just one of the rails on the smokestack. What's your favorite dive on the Dwayne?
Every dive is my favorite dive on the Dwayne. This guy was coming pretty close, checking me out, and then I think he took me for a tour. Let's follow him.
Okay, let's see where he takes us.
Let's see where he takes us.
Now,
And on your left, you have the kitchen, and on your right, he's not saying it.
sure he didn't say that?
I don't know.
I mentioned earlier about a wreck being cleaned. You notice he came in one door following this barracuda, and you can go right out another door. This is the type of wreck diving that doesn't take really any extra wreck training. It's always a good idea to be wreck certified anytime you venture inside an overhead environment. Or if you're cavern diving, you need to or cave dive, you should be certified in that.
That was excellent.
That was good footage.
Really good, yeah.
That was really good footage.
Well, cave diving, we're going to experience that pretty soon. But in the meantime, let's stick to the rag for now.
To wreck diving, yeah. One of the things about the Dwayne is the fact that it's accessible. It's marked. There's buoys on the Dwayne. Yeah. So if you're in Key Largo, Florida, you can ask any dive operator, and they'll tell you exactly how to get to the Dwayne. It's marked with big buoys at the surface. They're first come, first serve. You pull right up to the buoy with your boat and moor up to it.
Yes, even though sometimes they disappear for some reasons, you know, on strong currenty days or when it's really rough out there, they've been known to disappear. So
I think that they get knocked off by bigger boats maybe,
yeah. Or
like you say, on the real strong current days, they just they can't take the strain. They're out there all the time, and a corrosion and so on takes their toll on them. It makes the wreck more diveable when the buoys are there. And if you've never been diving on the Dwayne, you want to make sure that the first time you go with some sort of operator. So anyway, what I'd like to talk about next after the station break is we're going to do a little bit more on the Dwayne.
Yes, we are.
And we have another wreck to talk about. So anyway, we'll be right back with more dive time.
Welcome back to Dive Time. Hi, I'm Gerard. Mike and I are going to go into the second part of the wreck diving, the Dwayne. So let's go check it out. So Mike, what do you think about this? It looks pretty good today again, huh?
Well, I think that the Dwayne is always an excellent dive. Here you see some of the more prolific sea life on the Dwayne. There you can see a turtle.
Yeah, that was a nice day. We were very lucky that day. It's not always that you find turtles, and especially in her condition. I say her, it might be a it or whatever.
Neat thing about diving, if you notice, there's a diver in the background and the turtles in the foreground. That they'll let you interact. Oop, Barracuda says, "Get out of my wreck."
Well, I think actually that turtle was injured from a boat or something like that, and it looks like when we get closer to it, looks like it has a crack on the shell or something.
Yeah, it's possible. He doesn't look injured. Actually, if you look at it real close, it looks like it might be healing up, but there's definitely some sort of indentation on that turtle shell. Again, this is the wreck of the Coast Guard cutter Dwayne. Sank in 1987 as part of the Artificial Reef Program. This is a 327-foot wreck. It was decommissioned, I think, in about 1980, and they finally sank it in 87. This saw service during World War I and World War II. It's a Secretary-class Coast Guard cutter, and it was, in her day, she was quite the ship.
We need to remind everyone, though, that to do that type of diving, they do have to be certified advanced water, not
That's
open
right.
water only. And it takes a little bit more of practice and skills that we do teach, actually.
You're absolutely right. This type of diving is not for just the open water diver. You do need some special certification. You need to be at least an advanced open water diver to dive on this type of wreck.
Which includes night diving, deep dive like this one. Hopefully we'll get into night diving one of these days.
And also just the amount of experience you have diving helps here. And there's the mascot of the wreck.
Yeah, pretty fish actually. It looks ugly, but it's pretty.
Eyes and the beauty of the beholder.
Yeah, well, it's difficult to say which one it is, but it's actually both, I think.
And this is what the wreck looks like when you're hanging doing your safety stop. You look down and there's a bunch of divers still in the wreck. The bubbles coming up just expand and expand and expand.
There's the Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
Nice boat. Who's that? I know.
We said about a safety stop. When you hang out on the chain there, you're doing a little, it's not decompression diving, but a safety stop. And it's real important anytime you do a deep dive, Gerard, as you well know, you need to do some sort of safety stop where you rest and help get a little of that extra nitrogen out of your blood.
Exactly. That's why we hang around at 15 feet for at least 3 minutes. All depends how long we stay down there or how far deep we will really go. But that's the rule is the 3-minute stop.
So what do you think is probably your favorite part of the Dwayne? I mean, do you have any particular part?
Oh, the whole ship is really nice. I like to get inside and out and from the bow, and it's just a lot of fun.
Great.
A lot of fun to dive all around it.
Yeah, I love the wreck.
Too.
Anyway, when we come back, Jack will be here with his tech tips, and stay tuned for more dive time.